Welcome to the Minecraft Updates tier list, where we are ranking every update and version of the game on what it brought to the table on its own. Let's get into it. First off, we have the in-dev. This is the entire game as it is. It has to go into the S tier. It's the foundation of the game. Pretty sure I heard a rumor that it was coded by Notch and friends of his in like a weekend or something. Love it. Infdev. I think it's Infidev. Infidev, if I'm not mistaken, because I haven't played this early. This is when I was like 8 years old. Infidev is pretty much them just adding better storage, doors, I know that, and spawners. I think it's alright. I think it's a step in the right direction, so I'm going to give it a B. I would give it an F because it's boring as fuck, but honestly, they didn't have much to work with, and they were kind of still getting their feet on the ground. I think this next update is when we start to really come into our own in Minecraft. That is Alpha. That is the Nether. Dare I say give it an S? I think I'm going to, mostly because when people think of Minecraft, they think of two things: the overworld and the end, or the Nether. The Nether is just such a crucial part of the game. Without it, it wouldn't be Minecraft. Beta. Beta comes with beds. What else? It comes with a lot of stuff. I know that in general, beta is one of those kind of fixer-up updates that doesn't add anything major to the game. It's more of just, let's kind of sweep some shit under the rug and polish it up. We've got a few more of these updates coming. I don't think they're inherently bad. I don't think updates that fix problems they already made are bad. I think they're just boring updates that we kind of have to swallow, you know? Next one, 1.0, the end. Listen. I think the end is fantastic. It brings a conclusion to Minecraft, and the trailer they made on YouTube was flawless. But I'm not going to give it an S, mostly because I think they missed some opportunity in the end. If you think about it, the end is meant to be played once. I mean, you can go back to it. But if you think about your first time in the end, you want to beat the dragon. If you're geared up, that might take 20 minutes, and that might be the only time you're in the end on your entire world. I feel like they missed opportunity in ways to expand your gameplay in that dimension. There's nothing to do after that. There is now with newer updates, but I'm talking about back then. On its own, it added a finale to the game, but not a satisfying one. 1.1, item frames, it added spawn eggs. Honestly, I'm sorry, this is as low as it gets. I think spawn eggs are cool, and I think they add a lot of features to servers for plugins. But on its own, you're not gonna load into the game and be like, "Wow, is this Minecraft?" No. 1.2. I think this is the version I started playing on my Xbox 360. Iron Golems, Ocelots. I know they added the beginning of redstone shit with. I think I see a redstone lamp there. Hear me out. What's next? 1.3. This added, yeah, I know, emeralds, golden apples. I remember that, and ender chests. And I kind of want to give it a high C. I'm going to give it a high C because we have something later in the video, shulker boxes, which are a much better form of on-the-go transportation. I think the best thing they added was golden apples here, quite honestly, and emeralds are good. But back then, emeralds had no value. Down the road, this is the best part of the update. But right now, just came at 1.3. Emeralds are, they're good for XP. That's it. Okay, 1.4. Pretty scary update. I remember this is, I'm just putting this here. Yeah, this is mostly witches. Oh, not satisfied. 1.4 goes in the F. Honestly, I think my biggest complaint with this is a pretty scary update could have had a lot more value. I think in a fantasy game like Minecraft that's very stoic in that you pick your own route, I think there was a lot of opportunity to add very cartoonishly goofy, scary things that people could enjoy. And I think witches and jack-o'-lanterns is about as shallow as you can get in that kind of update. So it's going to go in F. Redstone update, absolute S tier. I do not do much mechanics in Minecraft, but I am a big fan in what you can do. I mean, you can go on YouTube and look up programming Minecraft in Minecraft. You can do playing Minecraft on a block pixel phone in my Minecraft. You can make computers in Minecraft that work perfectly. I mean, it's fantastic. Horse update. Okay, let's be real here. This is the update when I started getting serious into the game. Like, I got my own laptop. I was having fun with it. It was pretty lackluster. In fact, I know C is getting real stacked up here with mid to shit updates, but I'm gonna have to put it here. Here comes, in my opinion, the best version in all of Minecraft. Not just because I'm biased. No. It is because this might be the most revolutionary, game-changing update where they added, I'm pretty sure, over a dozen biomes, new biomes, or changes to biomes. They added a bunch of items, stained-colored glass, I remember that vividly, and it brought so much more content to the table that really felt like it was doing two things at once. It was polishing the game on features that they had already made, and it was adding new things to the game at the same time that really made it feel like a Minecraft 1.5 almost. Not a 2.0, but a really big update in Minecraft that you know they put a lot of effort into. Big fan, nostalgic as well, yes. 1.8. 1.8 is one of those ones where I'm very iffy about, right? Because 1.8 I use all the time on Hypixel. Awesome server, PvP. Awesome PvP. When I'm on Minecraft, it's mostly PvP. So yes, I do use 1.8. But they didn't really bring too much to the table as far as gameplay. Yes, they added a new boss, the Guardian. That's fantastic. I know this is like when it came out, what did it bring to the table? But right now, if I were to go into a Minecraft world and try and find a Guardian, I'd be damn hard pressed. I have not found one of those things in ages. They've been so dwindled in how hard it is to find, it might as well not be in the game. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's not a common thing you see. And even when you do beat the Guardian, it's not like the Ender Dragon or the Wither where you get, like, gob-stopping loot. It's very much in the middle. Only reason I'm putting it in A tier is because it brought lapis lazuli value. From this point onwards, lapis lazuli was how you enchanted. Not only do people say, did it give lapis value, but I think it did one thing better, which is enchanting. It made enchanting easier. Basically, if you don't know, before 1.8, you needed 30 levels, but once you use that to get a level 30 enchantment, the best tier of enchantment you can get, it took every level and you had to get back up to 30 levels, which might take 3 hours. It takes a long time. But after this update, it only takes about 2 to 3 to 4 levels, and then you just have to get back those last few levels with lapis. What I'm saying is, it's a lot more rewarding to enchant. It's the enchanting update. Big fan. That's all I have to say. The combat update. Not the combat update, the fucking shit update. Yes, I know, it added value to the end. It brought gameplay after the end, which I've always been a big critique of, that the end is too short, too limited. Once you beat the dragon, there's nothing you can do in that dimension. It's shit all, you know? I like that. What I don't like is they took the value that people had brought to PvPing that the community had created. Because when Minecraft was made, they didn't say, click fast. We learned that on our own. And once the community had liked what they learned, they yank it away from us and say, nope, here's a better update. I do admit the update is more methodical in how you PvP, but that doesn't mean it's better when you've spent 4 or 5 years teaching the biggest game community ever how to PvP. You've taught them to love it, and then you take it away. That's not how you do it. So for that reason, fuck you. Frostburn update. Oh man. This update might genuinely have to be another F. Why? I think the one thing less common than a Guardian boss spawn is a Frostburn, is the polar bear biome. Like, I see some snow spruce biome sometimes, but I never see the Antarctic biome. It's so rare. Why did they add it? I don't know. Okay, the exploration update. I think I'm going to give it a B, mostly because, well, it doesn't deliver a lot on quantity side of everything it provides is very limited, I'll be honest. I think the quality is pretty heavy, mostly because it gives you something else to do once you've beaten the game, which is go into a massive haunted house and get all the loot you can against a bunch of new, pretty difficult mobs to go against. For that reason, while it's very small, I think it's quite impactful for how they made it. World of Color. I'm going to do something as a PvPer. I like combat in Minecraft, that's why I play it. I'm going to give it an S. Bottom of S, but S. The reason for that is mostly because I know how many builders, I have a lot of friends that are builders, and they all say World of Color is what helped them create a lot of new ideas that they couldn't have without, mostly because before this, Minecraft has really been about what blocks can I use that was built for survival to create a beautiful structure in creative. This might be the first update where they said, nope, this update is just for creative in mind. I mean, you can use it in survival, but they had creative builders in mind, and I like that. I like that they're tailoring now to different game modes. So yes, big S tier. Update Aquatic. I'm going to give it a B tier right now, mostly because it makes the whole world feel a lot more coming full circle, right? Because ever since Minecraft was made, you felt like there was a purpose to everything that was there as far as the mainland. But in the older versions, if you don't know, when you go into the ocean biome or a lake, it's gravel, dirt, and sand, and it's boring. It's boring. I think this, because Minecraft maps are like 40 or 50% ocean biome across everything around there. So I'm glad to see that they brought some color and some personality to such a large part of the map that I think they always just ignored because they never cared enough to do something about it. Big fan of it. Very mid update, but I think it does a good job at what it's trying to do. Pre-classic update. I don't know what that is. Buzzy Bees. This is going to go about the very bottom of F. Why? Simple. The entire update was 3 things. Honeycombs, honey beehives, and bees. These are just 3 entities. That's it. That's all. And they have no value at all. So that's bad. Village and Pillage, big fan of it. I think that it's probably going to get an A tier, mostly because I think while the pillagers are almost like a counterpart to the villagers, it gives more dynamic to how the world flows without the player, and if it gives you a story to how the villagers are afraid of the NPCs, I like it. I'm a fan. It brings more lore to the world, if that makes sense. I like it. Plus, fighting the pillagers give you good loot, so that's about it. Another update. Yes, there are more updates. I'm going to be editing them in because this tier list did not have them. I'm getting them, though. This goes up to 1.20, don't worry. Okay, Nether update. Wow. Love the Nether update. Have a couple complaints with it, so I'm probably going to put it right about here. I think the coolest thing this does is people are going to off the bat say it gives the Nether more depth, or they might say it gives a piece of armor that is better than diamond armor, the netherite. I think what it does the best is it adds more value to the world that you go into the Nether. The same thing it did with the combat update, where it gave the end more reason for being there. It did that in the Nether too. What it also did along with that is it might have gave the real combat update, which is finally give armor that is better than diamond to the players. I think they should remove the combat update on that one and give it here because it's fantastic. S tier all around. Okay, cool. 1.17. If I remember correctly, 1.17 was a few things. It was axolotls. It was drip slate. It was like, what's it called? Drip leaf, I think. It was deep slate, which allows you to mine deeper, which I think is all right. You know, it's all right. And of course, the elephant in the room is 1.17, the caves and cliffs update. So here they come and say, here's the caves and cliffs update without the caves and cliffs. Psych, we're going to get you next year on the part 2 of it, 1.18. Complete ripoff. I think the devs were just lazy as fuck, didn't want to do it, and ran past the deadline. So absolute. I'm going to edit this in. It's going to follow my mouse. You see, look at my mouse on the screen. It's following it right down to F tier. Why? Because it sucks. Its only excuse is that it's related to a really decent update. 1.18. Let's get to it. The better version of 1.17 by a long shot because it delivers what it was supposed to give, basically wiping its ass and says go home. So I think the value it brings is all in all just the caves and cliffs. That's all it brings. There's nothing else that makes you stand out and say, wow, that's a real Minecraft update. It's a good update. And I follow my cursor, it's going to go in B. Why B and not A or S? Because it's pretty cool having more caves. Mostly because it as itself is just a disappointment. People wanted this update 1 year earlier. And they didn't. It's a simple update, but they didn't deliver it. And the fact that it'll always be that update that is covering the ass of the one before because the devs were too lazy is going to taint it a little bit in my eyes. I think it's all right. I think we could go without it. I'm glad we have it. Wish we had it a year earlier. That's all. All right, 1.19. I have to say, follow the mouse here. I have to give it an S tier, mostly because it adds a new boss that, unlike the Guardian, actually feels like a boss. I mean, I don't know if they should have made it the hardest thing to kill. It doesn't make sense that it's harder than the Ender Dragon, but I've heard stories about how scary it is, and I think the thing that took me by surprise is it wasn't just a left click, it dies. It's almost like a sub-horror game where you have to hide from it and it listens to sound. I think that might be the coolest shit that Minecraft has ever done, and honestly super innovative. Easy S tier, in fact. I can't like move stuff with this, but I think it should go somewhere around here in the middle. It's fantastic. High S tier, love it, totally recommend it. The final one, the one that I have not even touched, right? I've just heard stories. So I've got a list of what it has, but I want you to keep in mind this is all hypothetical until I play it. This is the one update I have not played, so if you have different opinions, comment down below, let me know how it is. All right, cool. All right, so for this part, I'm going to be looking at my other monitor so I can read off what it is, so I'm not looking at you for a sec. All right, it's got archaeology features. That's pretty cool, I'll be honest. I don't know how far that goes. Is that like one type of block, or is that like a full-on series of items? I'd like that. It's got hanging signs. Do signs need to hang? Not really. It's got bamboo, wooden rafts. I know you can transport animals on that. That is amazing. That right there puts it at a high rank. Creative inventory reshuffling. I don't know what to think about that. That sounds cool. I mean, I think the inventory's always had some room to improve, so I'm not complaining. New and better mob heads. Isn't that the thing that they made like 11 years ago where you could place like a creeper head or an ender? Okay, I see what this update is now. Anything else? Netherite's harder to use and there's more trimming. I have seen that. So I think what I can gather from this update, I think it's the culmination of 1.1 in beta, in that it feels very much like they're saying, okay, we could go further, let's take a step back and see what we fucked up, and let's fix it a little bit, let's make it pretty, let's polish it, and then let's give it to them in a better version. I like that. I like that Minecraft is capable of not always progressing forward, but taking a step back first to fix what they made, because nothing's perfect, and I'm glad they acknowledge that. So I see this as a fixer-upper update, with everything from the netherite, from the signs, from the ways to transport animals, from the inventory. Everything seems to be just polishing what they already have. I'm a fan of that. For that, I'm going to give it an A tier because I think unlike the other two fixer-up updates, I think they did much more content and they fixed a lot more important things. So, A. That is my tier list. Take it easy. Cue the 2014 outro.